Alright, full disclaimer. Despite what you've seen, what you've heard, or what you may have read, full disclaimer, I am not at my full, what do you say, calibration or full potential with this build. But it does show potential. It does show power. It is quite indeed one of the most powerful builds I've used in this game, and the most fun, zapping around the map with my interceptor. But here, I'll get started with the build. So, what you'll need for this build, Truth of Tarsus. You may not need two of them, but I have two for a very specific reason. One has weapon damage and one has physical damage. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's the difference between both of those? Weapon damage affects the initial bullet that hits the enemy when it lands. Where physical damage affects both. Now, I haven't done the full testing to actually define which one does the most damage, but when it comes to this one here with weapon damage, it does more impact damage on the enemy, so the initial bullet that hits for more. It's noticeable at a certain extent, but to furthermore define this build, I have my abilities that buff my damage. For here, the Striker's Fury buff. Hitting an enemy increases weapon damage for 60%. Now, I know there has been instances where this has not worked for some people, but I think it works for me. Well, if you do realize it does not work for you and the perk does not activate like the way it's supposed to, you can go with Serpent's Vial. The venom, the perk for it doesn't really matter. What does matter is the fact that venom or acid, I speak, reduces your enemy's defenses, so they take more damage, as I say. And on top of that buff, I do have my components, which as one of my components, which is Way of Integration, gear hit streaks, which is 2 hits from any gear piece, increases all damage by 30%. So on top of that 60%, I have 30 more percent, which brings me to 90. Plus my double edge inscription, that gives me another 35%, on top of the 50% of Vengeance Matrix. All in all, that is a huge percentage of just raw damage active once you activate your buffs and everything as such. But the one thing to take away from this build is you will be insanely squishy, and I don't know why this is, but the Heart of Rage Stronghold will not be the best viable option for this build, because there's a lot of elemental damage. I think interceptors do take a lot of elemental damage, because I was running the Heart of Rage earlier and fire was just melting me to a certain extent. But if you're not comfortable with the extra damage that you are taking and you want to be a little bit more tankier, so you don't have a team that you're fully well comfortable with and you haven't built the synergy with a team, you can go ahead and remove the double inscription and replace it with something else of your choosing or preference, or may as well go with a ammo compartment, or a sniper mod. But that's pretty much it for the components. I will show you what else I use to buff my damage even more exponentially. Is Target Beacon. You proc that on the enemy and their resistance gets lowered by 33% on top of the Serpent's Veil, the toxic damage or the acid damage that's removing their defense even more. So all this all together just exponentially buffs your damage to a certain point where you will be more than happy to see those numbers come on your screen. And one little bit of survivability or tip, hitting the enemy's weak point instantly restores 35% shield. Shield doesn't really do much, but it does come in clutch for sticky situations. And one thing for sure, those shield enemies, the one that carry on the big shield, I do not remember the name, hitting their shield that result in 0 damage, it does equal hitting a weak point for some reason. I don't know which reason that is, but you can, if you see them around, you can just hit them 2 times and you get 35% of your shield back, or you just empty the whole five charges that you have. But one more thing, to optimize this build fully, what you want to look for on your gear or component inscriptions is sniper damage, and that will pretty much, you know, optimize your build for full damage capabilities or potential, and see you hitting them numbers up in the 300Ks and 500Ks. I've successfully hit 500K with my stacks and everything and my combos and everything going off at once, and like that was like when my build was fully optimized, but I had deleted some inscriptions, you know, reasons I do not know why. But as I wanted to say, I just wanted to show you guys my Deathstroke build. That's what I call it, because the color scheme and everything, I made the color scheme pretty similar to, you know, Deathstroke himself, because of the 2 sniper rifles that I do carry. Yeah, I will have some video clips at the end of the video showcasing how the build clears. It's a semi excellent clear for AoE trash mob clear in Grandmaster 1, and boss damage is very good in Grandmaster 1. I wouldn't recommend going into Grandmaster 2 because of the squishiness of the build. You might want to put this on, you know, swap around your components a little bit more to get some survivability up on your interceptor, unless you have a reliable tank, well, colossus on your team that can pick you up if you ever go down, or, you know, draw aggro away from you, because you will be drawing exponential amount of aggro since you're going to be one of the main damage dealers on your team. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had to showcase about this build. I hope you try it out, and if you have some changes that you made to the build, please let me know down in the comment section below, or any comments or such. I'm open to it. Criticism, sure, go ahead. That's pretty much it. I want to thank you for giving me your time, and I'm out. Oh yeah, that's the spot.